Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into relationship marketing today,
Sounds good.
and we're going deep with ZVI BAND's book, Success is in Your Sphere.
Awesome.
This book's really a playbook for building those genuine connections
Yeah,
that can really make a difference
that's right.
in both your work life and your personal life.
Absolutely.
So, I guess to kick things off,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
why relationships are more critical than ever
Okay.
in today's world, with technology constantly changing things.
Well, in a world that's becoming more and more digital,
Right,
real human connection is becoming more and more valuable.
for sure.
It's so easy to get lost in the online world.
Yeah,
All those profiles and updates.
right.
It's those real in-person interactions,
Yeah,
the shared experiences
yeah.
that really build trust and loyalty.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And, it reminds me of something that Ben talks about in the book, this
What's that?
concept of social proof. And he argues that we're heavily influenced by what other people say and do,
Yeah.
even if it goes against
It's true.
our own judgment.
Absolutely. And there's actual research that backs this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what?
There's this classic study from 1955
Okay.
by Deutsch and Gerard,
Okay.
and they found that people would conform to group opinions,
Interesting.
even when they knew that the group was wrong.
Wow.
So it's like a powerful reminder
Yeah.
of how social influence really shapes our decisions.
It's almost like our brains are
Yeah.
wired to seek validation from others.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And in a business context, that translates
That's
to
good.
the power of testimonials and word-of-mouth referrals,
Yeah.
online reviews.
Right.
People are just more likely to trust recommendations
That makes sense.
from someone they know.
Yeah.
Or even from strangers who've had positive experiences.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But, if we're constantly bombarded with information and connection requests online,
Yeah.
how do we cut through all that noise and focus on building those quality relationships that really matter?
That's a great question. And it's one of the biggest challenges
Yeah,
we face in the world today.
for sure.
Our brains just aren't equipped to handle
Yeah,
the sheer volume of interactions
sure.
that technology throws at us.
We can't be best friends with everyone.
Right.
Even though social media sometimes makes it feel that way.
Exactly. And that's where this idea of Dunbar's number comes in.
Dunbar's number.
Yeah, it's this fascinating idea from anthropologist Robin Dunbar.
Okay.
And it suggests that there's this cognitive limit
Yeah.
to the number of relationships
Okay.
that we can actually maintain,
Interesting.
which is around 150.
So even though we might have
Right.
thousands of Facebook friends or LinkedIn connections,
Yeah.
we can only really nurture a much smaller circle
That's right.
of close relationships.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And even within that circle,
Yeah.
those relationships, they require active maintenance.
I can see that.
And Band introduces this idea of mind share decay,
Okay.
which basically means that
Yeah.
if you don't actively engage with someone,
Mm-hmm.
your memory of them and the strength of that connection,
Right.
it's going to fade over time.
So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Pretty much.
Okay.
He gives this example of having lunch with someone named Mike
Okay.
right after lunch.
Yeah.
You remember all those details of the conversation, you feel connected. But then as time goes by, without any further interaction,
Yeah.
those details get fuzzy.
They do.
And so does your memory of Mike.
Oh, wow. So we're wired to seek connection,
We are.
but we have limited capacity
Yeah.
for maintaining relationships.
Right.
And then you add in the fact that those relationships naturally weaken over time if we don't nurture them.
It's true.
No wonder so many people feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed and
They
disconnected.
hit the nail on the head.
It's a lot.
And that's exactly why Band developed this strategic framework
Okay.
that he calls the capital strategy.
Capital strategy.
Yes, to help us navigate these challenges and build those relationships
Yeah.
that are both meaningful and impactful.
I love a good acronym.
Me too.
It makes things so much easier to remember.
It does.
So tell me, what does CAPITAL stand for?
So it stands for consistent execution,
Okay.
aggregate,
Aggregate.
prioritize,
Okay.
investigate,
Yeah.
timely engagement,
Got it.
add value,
Okay.
and leverage.
Leverage. Okay. So each of these steps is designed to address
Yeah.
a specific aspect of relationship building
That's right.
and help you build a thriving network
Yes.
that supports your goals.
It will.
This is getting me really intrigued.
Awesome.
Let's start with consistent execution.
Okay.
What does that involve?
Sure. So think about it this way.
Okay.
Building strong relationships
Yeah.
It takes time and effort.
It does.
It's not something that happens overnight.
Right.
Just like building any other skill or habit, consistency is key.
Right.
You can't just reach out to someone once a year
Yeah.
and expect to have this strong bond.
You have to put in the work.
You do.
So it's about making relationship building a part of your routine.
Exactly.
Not just a one-off activity.
That's right.
I like that.
And BAND emphasizes that even small actions done consistently can make a big difference over time.
Yeah.
It's like going to the gym.
Okay.
You don't have to run a marathon every day, see results.
Yeah.
Short, regular workouts will get you in shape.
Right.
Same principle applies to relationships.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what are some practical tips for implementing this consistent execution idea?
Well, BAND offers a few good suggestions.
Okay.
One is to set recurring calendar appointments for relationship building activities.
So like block out time.
Just like you would schedule a meeting or a doctor's appointment.
Right.
Block out time in your week to connect with people.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Makes it more likely that you'll actually do it.
Exactly. And it could be as simple as sending a few personalized emails or making a couple of phone calls.
I like it. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
That's a great tip.
Another tip is to associate new habits with your existing routines.
Okay.
So let's say you already have a habit of checking LinkedIn every morning.
I do.
Why not add a quick task of sending a personalized message to one person in your network?
Yeah.
That way, it becomes part of your existing workflow.
Right.
And it doesn't require this huge time commitment.
That's brilliant.
It is.
Piggybacking on existing habits is a great way to make new habits stick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget about positive reinforcement.
Okay.
When you successfully complete a relationship building task,
Yeah.
reward yourself with something you enjoy.
Okay.
Could be as simple as a cup of coffee or a 15-minute break to do something you love.
That's a good idea.
And that positive association will motivate you to keep going.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we've covered consistent execution,
We have.
which is all about making relationship building a regular part of our routine.
That's right.
What's the next step in the capital strategy?
So the next step is aggregate.
Aggregate. Okay.
And that's all about gathering and organizing information about your contacts.
Okay.
But BAND makes this really important distinction
Okay.
between a contact and a relationship.
Okay. Break that down for me, because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
use those terms interchangeably.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
A contact is simply a data point.
Okay.
A name, phone number, email address.
Okay.
It's just information.
Got it.
But a relationship is a living, breathing connection
Okay.
between two people.
Yeah.
It's about shared experiences,
Right.
mutual understanding, trust rapport.
So aggregate is about going beyond
Yes.
just collecting contact details and actually building a database
Right.
that reflects the depth and quality of your connection.
It is.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what are some practical ways to do this aggregation effectively?
Okay.
I mean, are we talking about meticulously stalking people's social media profiles?
Not quite.
Okay, good.
While social media can be a valuable source of information,
Right.
it's important to be mindful of boundaries
Of course.
and respect people's privacy.
Wouldn't want to come across as creepy.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
But there are plenty of ethical and effective ways
Okay.
to gather information.
Like what?
For example, during conversations.
Yeah.
Take detailed notes.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but a lot of people miss this step.
Oh, yeah.
Jot down those key details about their work.
Okay.
Interests, hobbies, family, anything that helps you build a more complete picture
Right.
of who they are.
I like.
I'm a big fan of note-taking myself.
Me too.
But where do you store all this information?
That's a good question.
A giant spreadsheet.
You could, but there are more sophisticated tools available.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
Well, BAND recommends using a CRM,
CRM?
customer relationship management system.
All right.
CRMs are designed to store and manage
Right.
all your contact information in a central location.
Right.
They allow you to add notes, track interactions,
Yep.
and even set reminders for follow-ups.
So it's like a supercharged address book
It is.
that helps you stay organized and build deeper connections.
Exactly.
And
And these days, CRMs can integrate with other platforms like email, social media, and even calendar apps. So it makes it even easier to manage your relationships from a single dashboard.
That's super handy.
It is.
So as we gather all this information,
It's important to keep it accurate and up to date.
it is
But
absolutely.
I imagine that can be tough.
It can.
Especially as people change jobs and cities and whatnot.
BAND emphasizes the importance of deduplication and merging contact information.
What does that mean?
So you might have someone's work email, personal email, LinkedIn profile, all representing the same person.
Right.
So merging those duplicates ensures that you're not sending multiple messages to the same person.
Got it.
And that you have a clear picture of their communication preferences.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's probably a good idea to regularly review and update your database.
You should.
Since people change jobs, move cities, and so on.
Got it. Continual aggregation is key.
Continual aggregation.
Your database should be a living, breathing reflection of your network.
I like that.
Constantly evolving.
Yeah.
As your connections grow and change.
Okay, so we've gathered all this information. Yes.
We've organized it in CRM. Now, how do we decide who to focus on?
That's where the next step in the capital strategy comes in.
Okay.
Prioritize.
Prioritize.
And this is where some people might get a little uncomfortable.
Why is that?
Well, it involves ranking people based on your goals.
Right.
And that can feel a little icky.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like you're playing favorites.
It's like creating a tier list of your friends.
Exactly.
Okay.
But BAND reframes it as focusing on relevance.
Okay.
It's not about judging people's worth.
Right.
It's about identifying who is most likely to help you achieve your specific objectives.
So it's a strategic decision.
It is.
Not a personal judgment.
Exactly.
I like that.
And he suggests using buckets to categorize contacts based on their relevance to your goals.
So like I could have a bucket.
You could.
For past clients. A bucket for potential investors.
Yes.
A bucket for industry influencers.
Exactly.
Like organizing your spices.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just throw all your spices in a drawer randomly.
You'd group them.
You would.
In a way that makes sense.
You would.
For how you use them.
I love that analogy.
I do too. I love a good analogy.
It perfectly captures the essence of prioritize.
Yeah.
It's about being intentional with your time and energy and focusing on those relationships that are most likely to move the needle for you.
So how do you actually go about prioritizing your contacts?
Well, BAND suggests using a simple ranking system based on factors that align with your goals.
So what are some examples?
Well, it depends on your specific objectives.
Okay.
So if you're looking to grow your business,
you
might prioritize contacts based on their net worth.
Okay.
Their referral potential or their influence in your industry.
Makes sense.
If you're looking to advance your career, you might prioritize people who work at your dream company or who have expertise in your field.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how powerful this can be.
It is.
By being strategic about who we focus on, we can maximize our impact.
It can.
And achieve our goals more effectively.
Absolutely.
And these buckets aren't set in stone, are they?
They're not.
Okay.
They can evolve as your goals change.
Right.
And as you learn more about your contacts.
Makes sense.
The important thing is to have a system in place.
I like that.
That helps you focus your efforts.
Okay, so we've talked about consistent execution, aggregation, and prioritization.
We have.
What's next in the capital strategy?
Next step is investigate.
Investigate.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear more about that.
Investigate is all about going beyond that surface level information.
Okay.
And gathering real intelligence about your prioritized contacts.
Intelligence.
It's about understanding their motivations, their challenges, their values and aspirations.
So it's kind of like being a detective.
Exactly.
To their network.
That's a great way to put it.
Cool.
And just like a detective, you got to be observant.
Right.
Pay attention to those details and connect the dots.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't BAND tell a great story?
It does.
About a potential hire named Steven?
Yeah.
Something about a basketball?
He does.
I love that story.
So BAND was really impressed with Steven's resume.
Okay.
And interview, but he wanted to learn more about him as a person.
Okay.
During their conversations.
Yeah.
Steven had mentioned that he was a huge basketball fan.
Oh, cool.
And specifically a Michael Jordan fan.
Okay. So what did BAND do?
Well, before Steven's next interview, BAND went out and bought a basketball.
Oh, okay.
And had it signed by Michael Jordan.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was. Now, this wasn't about trying to bribe Steven or impress him with a fancy gift.
Yeah.
It was about showing him that he had taken the time to really listen and learn something meaningful about them.
Yeah, it's a really thoughtful gesture.
It was.
And I bet it made a huge impact on Stephen.
It did. Stephen was blown away.
I bet.
And felt seen and appreciated.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
He ended up accepting the job offer.
That's great.
And became a valuable asset to the company.
Wow, that's awesome.
It is.
That's a really powerful example.
It is.
Of how even those small actions can go a long way in building rapport.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of gathering those details.
Yeah.
Those seemingly insignificant details that can reveal so much about a person's character and values.
So besides taking detailed notes during conversations, what are some other ways to investigate effectively?
Well, social media can be a valuable tool.
Okay.
As long as you use it ethically.
Right, of course.
Following your contacts on platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, or even Instagram can give you insights into their professional interests.
Okay.
Their thought leadership.
Yeah.
And even their personal passions.
I've definitely discovered some interesting things about people.
I have too.
By browsing their social media. Yeah. It can be a great way to find common ground.
It can.
And spark conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it can be helpful.
It can.
But obviously ethically.
Yeah, ethically.
Oh, good.
And don't underestimate the power of Google.
Yeah. Oh, good old Google.
A simple search can often uncover articles.
Right.
Blog posts, or even videos that your contacts have published or been featured in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about doing your homework.
It is.
And taking the time to learn as much as you can.
Exactly.
About the people you want to connect with.
You got it.
Okay.
So now once you've gathered all this intelligence,
the
next step is timely engagement.
Timely engagement.
This is about finding those right moments to connect.
Okay.
And nurture those relationships.
So how do you determine the right time to reach out? Is there some magic formula?
I wish there was.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Okay.
The frequency of your interactions will depend on the nature of the relationship.
Yeah.
Your goals and your capacity.
Right, because you don't want to be that person.
You don't.
That's constantly bombarding people with messages and requests.
Nobody wants that.
Okay.
It's about finding that balance between staying top of mind and respecting people's boundaries.
That makes sense.
It does.
So what's a good rule of thumb?
Well, BAND suggests setting a minimum cadence.
Okay.
Based on the importance of the relationship.
Okay.
So, for example, you might decide to connect with your top clients once a month.
Okay.
While you only reach out to more casual contacts once a quarter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That makes sense.
It does.
Be strategic with your outreach.
Yeah.
And focus on the relationships that matter most. And this is where those triggers we talked about earlier come into play.
They do.
Remember those birthdays, anniversaries, promotions, or even just news articles related to their work?
Absolutely.
Those can provide additional opportunities to engage outside of your set schedule.
That's right.
It's like little reminders that pop up on our phones.
It is.
Except these are reminders to connect with real people.
Exactly.
Not just to check our social media feeds.
It's about being thoughtful.
Yeah.
And finding those genuine reasons to connect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Not just going through the motion.
Not at all.
Okay, I'm loving this.
I am too.
So we've gathered information, prioritized our contacts, and identified those timely engagement opportunities.
We have.
What's next?
Okay.
How do we actually add value to these relationships?
That is a great question, and it's the heart of the capital strategy.
Okay.
It's add value.
Add value.
Now, you might be thinking,
yeah,
but I don't have anything to offer these successful, influential people.
Well, I'll admit, that thought has crossed my mind.
I bet it has.
What could I possibly bring to the table that they don't already have?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Adding value isn't always about those grand gestures.
Okay.
Or expensive gifts.
Right.
It's about showing genuine interest.
Yeah.
Being helpful and making people feel seen and appreciated.
So it's about being a good human, basically.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, good.
And BAND provides some great frameworks for thinking about how to add value in different ways.
Okay.
He talks about the direct mindset, the connector mindset,
all right,
and the community mindset.
Okay, so let's break those down. Yeah. What's the direct mindset all about?
The direct mindset is about offering that one-on-one value to your contacts.
Okay.
And this could involve things like meeting for coffee or lunch.
Yeah.
To catch up and offer support.
Right.
Sending a thoughtful gift that aligns with their interests.
Okay.
Sharing relevant articles or resources that could be helpful. Offering your expertise or skills to help solve a problem.
So it's about being proactive.
Yeah.
And looking for ways to directly assist or support your contacts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the connector mindset is all about making valuable introductions.
The classic networking move.
It is.
Okay.
But it's more than just blindly connecting people.
Right.
It's about being strategic and thoughtful.
Okay.
About who you introduce and why.
So before you hit that connect button, you need to ask yourself. Will this introduction actually benefit both parties?
Exactly. You want to make sure that the connection is relevant.
Yeah.
And that there's a potential for synergy or mutual benefit.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
What about the community mindset?
Okay. So the community mindset is about creating those shared experiences for your network.
Okay.
And this could involve things like hosting events or workshops.
Okay.
Creating online groups or forums.
Yeah.
Organizing volunteer opportunities. Or facilitating mastermind groups.
So it's about bringing people together.
It is.
Around a shared interest or purpose.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And by creating these shared experiences, you're fostering a sense of belonging and connection.
Yeah.
Which can lead to stronger relationships.
Right.
And a more supportive network.
That's fantastic.
It is.
I'm getting so many ideas for how to apply these mindsets to my own networking efforts.
Absolutely.
So before we move on to the final step in the capital strategy, I'm curious, what are some specific strategies or tactics that BAND recommends for adding value?
One of the simplest,
but
most effective strategies is what BAND calls just checking in.
Just checking in.
It's about sending a quick email or message to let someone know you're thinking about them. Without necessarily having a specific agenda.
So it's like the relationship equivalent of a quick hello wave.
Exactly. It's a low-effort way to maintain mind share.
Right.
And keep that connection alive.
Makes sense.
Another powerful strategy is offering help and solving problems.
Okay.
BAND emphasizes the importance of asking your contacts specific helpful questions. Like, what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now?
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
Okay.
Or, is there anything I could do to support you?
Those are great questions.
They are.
Because it shows that you're genuinely interested
in
their well-being.
Yeah.
And that you're willing to lend a hand.
Exactly. And sometimes the best way to add value is to simply ask for a favor.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Asking for a favor can actually strengthen a relationship?
It can.
How does that work?
It sounds counterintuitive.
It does.
But it's true.
Okay.
It's based on the Ben Franklin effect.
The Ben Franklin effect?
Which suggests that doing someone a favor can actually make them like you more.
I've never heard of that before.
It's really interesting.
Okay.
So when you ask someone for a favor, it implies that you trust and value their expertise or abilities.
That makes sense.
And it also creates a sense of reciprocity.
Okay.
They've done something for you, so they're more likely to be open to receiving help or support from you in the future.
That's fascinating.
It is.
So next time I need help with something, I should reach out to someone in my network.
You should.
And ask for their assistance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just make sure the request is reasonable.
Right, of course.
And that you express genuine appreciation for their help.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
So we've covered just checking in.
We have.
Offering help. And even asking for favors.
Yep.
What other strategies does BAND recommend?
He also talks about the power of broadcast experiences.
Broadcast experiences, okay.
These are things like hosting events, sharing valuable content online, or even creating a newsletter that provides insights or resources to your network.
So it's about creating something that benefits a wider audience, not just a single individual.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, and when you create these broadcast experiences, it's important to be different and memorable.
So stand out from the crowd.
You got to think about what sets you apart.
Right.
How you can create something unique and engaging that people will actually want to participate in.
Makes sense.
It does.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Add value is clearly a multifaceted step.
It is.
In the capital strategy.
It is.
And it seems like there's no shortage of ways to make a positive impact on our network.
You got it.
Now, the final step in the capital strategy is leverage.
Leverage.
Which is all about using systems and tools to make your relationship building efforts more efficient and effective.
It is.
This sounds right up my alley.
I thought you might say that.
I love anything that helps me streamline my workflow and get more done.
For sure.
So tell me, what are some of BAND's top tips for leverage?
One of the most powerful strategies is templatizing actions.
Templatizing actions.
Okay.
Think about those emails you send regularly, thank you notes, follow-up messages, introductions.
Right.
Instead of writing each one from scratch, create templates that you can customize.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It is.
For each individual.
It's a great time saver.
It is.
And it ensures consistency in your messaging.
I like it. What else?
Another key strategy is automation.
Automation. Okay.
There are tons of tools available these days that can automate tasks. Like scheduling follow-up emails, sending birthday reminders, or even personalizing messages.
Yeah, based on specific criteria.
Oh, wow. Automation is amazing.
It is.
But I imagine it's important to use it judiciously.
Absolutely. You never want to sacrifice authenticity or personalization for the sake of efficiency.
So it's about using automation to enhance your efforts.
Exactly.
Not replace them entirely.
That's right.
Got it.
You still need to be the one driving those relationships.
Yeah.
Making decisions and adding that personal touch.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we've covered all 7 steps
we have
in the capital strategy.
We did it.
Consistent execution.
Yes.
Aggregate. Prioritize. Investigate. Timely engagement.
Yes.
Add value. And leverage.
We did it.
What an incredible framework.
It really is.
And what's amazing is that it can be applied to any industry or career path.
Absolutely.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, a corporate executive, or even just someone who wants to build stronger relationships in their personal life.
That's right.
The principles of the capital strategy can help you achieve your goals.
They can.
Now, we've talked a lot about the how of relationship marketing, but before we wrap up, I want to touch on the why. BAND emphasizes the importance of having a clear purpose for building your sphere of influence.
Absolutely.
What are you hoping to achieve by nurturing these connections?
That's a great question.
It is.
And it's one that each individual needs to answer for themselves.
That's true.
But in general, building a strong network can help you advance your career, grow your business, find new opportunities, gain valuable insights and knowledge, expand your social circle, make a difference in your community, live a more fulfilling life.
Those are some pretty compelling reasons.
They are.
To invest in your relationships.
I think so.
Yeah.
And when you have a strong sense of purpose, it fuels your efforts.
It does.
It makes the journey that much more rewarding.
It does.
Yeah.
So true. Okay, so before we move on, let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways from the capital strategy. What are the essential things our listeners should remember?
All right, so here are a few key takeaways. Relationships are assets. Treat them as valuable resources that can help you achieve your goals.
Makes sense.
Consistency is key. Make relationship building a regular part of your routine. Not a one-off activity.
Got it.
Add value. Look for ways to help support and connect with the people in your network. Leverage technology. Use tools and systems to streamline your efforts and maximize your impact.
Makes sense.
And track your results. Measure your progress. And make adjustments as needed to optimize your approach.
Those are great reminders.
They are.
And remember, even small actions taken consistently can lead to significant results.
They can.
You don't have to be the most extroverted person in the room or have a massive social media following to build a thriving network.
That's right.
That's encouraging.
It is.
It's about being authentic.
It is.
Being helpful. And building those genuine connections with people who align with your values and goals.
Beautifully said.
So
we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
With the capital strategy.
That's right.
But there's one more important aspect of the relationship marketing that BAND emphasizes. And that's making the ask. And tracking results.
Tracking results,
You've invested the time and effort in building these relationships, but how do you actually leverage them to achieve your goals? That's a great point.
It is.
It's all well and good to have a thriving network. But at some point, you need to make it work for you. So how do you actually make the ask?
That's the question.
It is.
Without feeling pushy or awkward.
It's a tough one.
It is.
I've definitely struggled with that in the past.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't want to come across as desperate or transactional.
Right.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
So what do we do?
So BAND provides some helpful tips
Okay.
for approaching this strategically.
Right.
First and foremost, be clear about what you want.
Okay.
What kind of support are you looking for?
Right.
Referrals, introductions, advice, funding.
Okay.
Once you've identified your needs,
Yeah.
you can start planting seeds in your conversations.
So it's about creating awareness.
Exactly. You want your network to be aware of what you're working on and how they can potentially help.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about those times when someone directly asks, how can I help you?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is.
It's easy to freeze up in those moments.
Yeah.
If you haven't given it any thought beforehand.
For sure.
BAND suggests
having
a prepared response for that very question.
Okay.
Think about the 2 or 3 most valuable things someone could do for you.
Right.
And practice articulating them concisely and compellingly.
So instead of stammering and saying, I don't know whatever you want, I can say, well, actually, I'm currently looking for.
Exactly.
Okay.
It shows that you're thoughtful.
Yeah.
And that you value their time and input.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about planting seeds.
We have.
And being prepared to answer that, how can I help you, question.
Yes.
But when is it appropriate
to
make a more direct ask?
BAND suggests that it's generally okay to be direct.
Okay.
Especially in professional settings. People appreciate clarity and honesty.
Makes sense.
Just make sure you're respectful.
Of course.
Appreciative, and that you frame your request in a way that highlights the mutual benefits.
So instead of saying, hey, can you introduce me to so-and-so?
Yeah.
I could say, I'm really impressed with your work with so-and-so. I'm working on something similar.
Okay.
And I'd love to pick your brain about your experience.
Yeah.
Would you be open to connecting me?
Perfect.
Okay.
You've highlighted the value you see in their expertise.
Right.
And you've framed the request in a way that benefits both parties.
Okay, this is great.
It is.
I'm feeling much more confident about making asks now.
Awesome.
But how do you know if your efforts are actually paying off?
It's a good question.
How do you track results?
That's a crucial part of the equation.
It is.
BAND emphasizes tracking both leading indicators and lagging indicators.
Okay, break that down for me.
Right.
What are leading indicators versus lagging indicators?
So leading indicators are measures of engagement and interest.
Okay.
Like opens, clicks, and replies to your emails or messages.
Got it.
They show that people are paying attention and interacting with your content.
Right.
But they don't necessarily guarantee a tangible outcome.
So they're kind of like early signs of progress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Lagging indicators, on the other hand, are the actual results you're aiming for.
Okay.
Referrals. Closed deals, job offers, new clients.
Okay.
They typically take longer to materialize.
Right.
But they're the ultimate measure of your success.
So leading indicators show that you're on the right track.
Yes.
And lagging indicators confirm that you've reached your destination.
Exactly.
Okay.
And BAND stresses the importance of tracking both.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a holistic view of your progress.
Right. You see the whole picture.
You do.
Okay.
It allows you to see what's working, what's not, and where you need to adjust your approach.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do you actually track all these things?
Many CRMs and email marketing platforms have built-in tracking features.
Oh, that's handy.
It is.
What?
That automatically monitor opens, clicks, and replies.
Right.
But for other activities, like gifts or introductions, you might need to rely on manual tracking.
Okay.
The key is to find a system that works for you.
Right.
And stick with it.
So it's about being organized, paying attention to the data, and being willing to adapt your strategy based on what you learn.
Exactly. And remember, tracking results isn't about obsessing over metrics or comparing yourself to others. It's about understanding what's working, what's not, and continually refining your approach to maximize your impact and achieve your goals.
That makes sense.
It does.
This has been incredibly insightful.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for building and leveraging my network.
That's great.
It is.
And I think it's worth emphasizing that relationship marketing is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's an ongoing process
of
learning, growing and connecting with others in meaningful ways.
I like that. It's so true.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one last thing I want to touch on.
Right.
Band talks about the importance of embracing failure.
He does.
And not letting fear hold us.
Yeah.
Yeah, not letting fear hold us back.
It's so important.
Yeah, he even quotes Mike Tyson's trainer, Cus D'Amato.
He does.
It's a good one.
It is.
It's a reminder that even the most successful people make mistakes.
They do.
And it's how you learn and grow from those experiences that truly matters.
It's so true. We often get caught up in this idea of perfection.
Right.
Especially when it comes to relationship building.
It can be intimidating.
I know. We're afraid of saying the wrong thing, making a bad impression, or even just being ignored.
Ugh, yeah, it's the worst.
It is. But Band encourages us to shift our perspective and see failure as an opportunity for growth.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we're all going to mess up sometime.
We are.
Inevitable.
It's part of life.
It is.
But it's how we respond to those setbacks that really defines us.
I like that.
Yeah.
And Ben shares some great stories about his own missteps and how he learned from them.
He does.
You know, it's so refreshing to hear that.
It is.
Even someone who's written a whole book on relationship marketing still has those moments of like, oh, no, what was I thinking?
It humanizes the whole process.
It does. Yeah. It reminds us that it's okay to be imperfect.
It is.
To stumble, to try things and see what happens.
Oh, right.
The important thing is to keep learning.
Yes.
And iterating.
Absolutely.
And to not let fear paralyze us. Right. Because, as Malusman so eloquently puts it, the difference between a hero and a coward, there ain't no difference.
I love that quote.
Inside, they're both exactly alike.
They are.
Both scared of dying or getting hurt. But it's what the hero does that makes him a hero.
It is.
What the other guy doesn't do, that makes him a coward.
Powerful words.
It is a call to action.
It is.
A reminder that we have the power to choose how we respond to fear.
That's right.
We can let it hold us back.
Yeah.
Or we can face it head on
and
keep moving forward.
You got it.
And ultimately, that's what relationship marketing is all about.
It is.
It's about putting ourselves out there, connecting with others, and building those meaningful relationships.
That can enrich our lives and careers.
That's right.
It's about being human.
It is.
Embracing our imperfections.
Absolutely.
And striving to make a positive impact.
You got it.
On the world.
Beautifully said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of relationship marketing, what's one final piece of advice you would give to our listeners who are eager to start building their own spheres of influence?
I would say start small.
Okay.
Don't get overwhelmed by the idea of having to network with hundreds of people.
Right.
Focus on building a few strong connections first.
Okay.
And then gradually expand your circle from there.
That's great advice.
I think so.
And remember, it's not about being the most popular person in the room.
It's not.
It's about building genuine, authentic connections with people who align with your values and goals.
Beautifully said.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
No. To try different approaches and see what works best for you.
That's right.
Relationship marketing is a journey.
It is.
Not a destination.
It's not.
So enjoy the process.
Absolutely.
I love that. Embrace the journey.
Yeah.
Learn from your experiences and never stop growing.
That's right.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into ZVI Band's Success is in Your Sphere.
Awesome book.
It is a great book.
Yeah.
We hope you've gleaned some valuable insights and practical strategies for building and leveraging your own network.
I hope so.
And remember, relationships are powerful.
They are.
They can open doors.
They can.
Create opportunities.
Yes.
And enrich your life in countless ways.
Absolutely.
So invest in your connections, nurture them,
Yeah.
and watch them flourish.
I love it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was fun.
Until next time.